Marcus Aurelius said, "The object of life is not to be on the side of the majority, but to escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane." Here's the insane part nobody tells you: the people who hate you? They've been studying you harder than anyone who loves you ever will. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your critics, rivals, and enemies are your most accurate mirrors, and how to use that information to build a version of yourself that's genuinely unshakable. Not motivational fluff. Actual psychological leverage. Most men spend their lives managing their image with friends and family, people who are emotionally invested in seeing you a certain way. That investment blinds them. Your enemies have no such investment. They see the cracks you've been plastering over for years. And if you can't access that information, you're navigating your own life with a broken compass. That's not just uncomfortable. It's dangerous. Your enemies are free from the social contract that makes your friends lie to you. Abraham Lincoln kept his political enemies close, not as a power move, but because he understood something most men miss. His Secretary of War, Edwin Stanton, publicly called Lincoln a long-armed ape and refused to work with him. Lincoln appointed him anyway. When asked why, Lincoln said Stanton was the best man for the job. What Lincoln got in return wasn't loyalty, he got accuracy. Stanton had no reason to flatter him, so he didn't. Every critique Stanton offered was surgical. Friendship creates what psychologists call positive illusion bias. Your friends want you to feel good, so they unconsciously filter what they tell you. Your enemies want to win, which means they need a precise map of your weaknesses. That map is worth more than all the encouragement in the world if you're brave enough to read it. The specific things your enemies mock are almost always your real vulnerabilities, not invented ones. Nietzsche wrote about ressentiment, the way weaker people attack what they can't become. But here's the flip side he never quite spelled out: they can only attack what actually exists. Think about a man in an office who becomes the target of workplace gossip. They call him arrogant. He dismisses it. But if three separate people who don't like him all land on the same word arrogant, that's not coincidence. That's data. The trait they're exaggerating is almost always real. They've just stripped away the diplomatic cushioning your friends would wrap it in. Jung called it the shadow, the parts of yourself you've refused to integrate. Your enemies don't respect your defenses. They bypass them. When someone attacks you repeatedly on the same point, they've found your shadow. That's not an insult. That's a map to your next level of growth. Pressure from enemies reveals your actual values, not the ones you perform. Seneca, while being one of the wealthiest men in Rome, wrote extensively about the meaninglessness of wealth. Easy to say in a palace. But when Nero turned on him and ordered his execution, Seneca didn't break. He gathered his friends, spoke calmly about philosophy, and died without begging. His enemies, the emperor himself, gave him the ultimate test. And Seneca passed it. Not because he was performing stoicism. Because years of pressure had made it real in him. Your friends see the performance. Your enemies create conditions where performance is impossible. When someone is actively working against you, your business rival, your ex who's telling people stories, the colleague undermining you in meetings, you find out what you actually believe. Comfort reveals your preferences. Adversity reveals your character. There's no substitute for that information. How you respond to your enemies tells you more about yourself than how you respond to your friends. Epictetus was a slave. His master once, to test him, began twisting his leg. Epictetus said calmly, "You are going to break it." The master twisted harder. It broke. Epictetus said, "Did I not tell you that you would break it?" The man trying to destroy you is a mirror. Watch your reaction, not theirs. Epictetus didn't spiral into rage or collapse into despair. His enemies revealed his discipline. Most men, when attacked, either go cold or explode. Both are data about where their inner work still needs to happen. Psychologists call it emotional reactivity, the gap between stimulus and response. Your friends rarely push you past your comfortable reaction patterns. Enemies push hard. If someone's criticism makes you rage, it's usually because it's landed somewhere true. If it leaves you completely cold, you've actually done the work. Your enemies are constantly running stress tests on your nervous system. The results are honest in a way that Sunday brunch with good friends never will be. You can deliberately harvest enemy intelligence without becoming paranoid or bitter. Machiavelli, in The Prince, advised rulers to seek out advisors who would tell them hard truths and to punish flattery. He understood that the political enemy is the most honest consultant you'll ever have, because they're motivated to find every flaw in your strategy. Jeff Bezos reportedly said he reads every critical Amazon review personally. Not the praise, the one-star reviews. That's the Machiavellian move translated into modern business. Your harshest critics are doing your quality control for free. The practical technique is what some therapists call inversion listening. When someone criticizes you, especially an enemy, ask yourself, if there were 20% truth in this, what would it be? Not 100% truth. Just 20%. That small reframe drops your defensiveness enough to actually extract the signal from the noise. You're not agreeing with them. You're mining them. There's a difference between letting your enemies wound you and letting them sharpen you. Here's what we covered. 1. Your friends are biased toward your comfort, which makes them unreliable mirrors. Your enemies have no such bias, they see you clearly because they're motivated to. 2. The specific content of enemy criticism is almost always pointing at something real, even if it's exaggerated. That's your shadow work telling you where to go next. 3. The way you respond under adversarial pressure is the truest read you'll ever get on your own character. You don't find out who you are when life is good. You find out when someone is actively trying to dismantle you. The Stoics knew this. The great leaders in history knew this. And now you know it too. If this landed for you, subscribe. We drop one of these every Tuesday and Friday, no filler, no hype. Just the kind of thinking that actually changes how you move through the world. Hit the bell if you want it in your feed the moment it drops. And if you've got an enemy in mind right now, good. You've got work to do.